Welcome to Accessing Life, a podcast focused on empowering people with developmental disabilities to live their best life. In this episode, Chester will explore the ways grocery shopping can be made more accessible for everyone. We'll hear from a customer service director of a widespread grocery chain about ways that stores are trying to make shopping more accessible. But first, Chester speaks with a self-advocate about empowering shoppers to speak up for a more accessible shopping experience.
My guest today is Shameka Andrews. Shameka, want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Thank you, Chester. My name is Shameka Andrews. I live here in the Capital District. I am 46 years old, and I have spina bifida and use a power chair.
Thank you. One of the things that I wanted to talk to you about, Shameka, was your experience shopping. Do you do your own shopping or do you order? Because I know I order my food and have it delivered.
I do both, actually. It just depends on how I'm feeling. Sometimes I'll go into a store and do my own shopping. And then sometimes I will order things online. But I do like to go into the store and get stuff myself.
Can you kind of tell us a little bit about why that's important to you? Go in the store.
I just like being out in the community, and I like that I see the same people in the store and they know me, and I can really connect with them, and it's just just another part of being in the community and being a part of the community and living in the community is being able to have shops that I can go into and spend money.
Yes, I mean, I think that that's so important because we can talk about accessibility, we can talk about what our needs are, but if people don't see us or experience being with us, they don't know. They just assume what they think we need to do or, how we need to do it. I know from my experience going into stores and stuff, I'm visually impaired, so I either have someone with me, but also if I need some assistance, I will ask if someone at the store can assist me. Have you experienced that, or can you manage on your own?
I often need assistance in the store, like if I have things that I want that are on higher shelves. So there are people like at my local grocery store that, they have signs that say, if you need assistance, let us know. So they'll come over and, get the things in the shelves for me, put it in the basket, or help me, unload my basket when I get to the line. So sometimes I do have somebody in the store that helps me, to, either get stuff down or unpack my cart when I get to, the line, things like that. And occasionally I'll have a staff with me if it's just something that I need to go in really quick, and I'll just have them, like drive me or whatever. But mostly if I'm shopping by myself, I'll take the bus, and then there's usually somebody in the store that helps me if I need it.
Okay, that's real good. Have there been times where you went in shopping and there was no one to assist you, and how did you manage that?
There have been times, that sometimes, somebody might be available, not be available, or the store's just a little bit busier. And with that, sometimes I'll have to change, what I'm getting, or, I'll figure out, like, if there's somebody in the aisle, I'll just say, hey, can you reach that thing for me or whatever? And usually people are very nice in the store, and they're willing to, reach something, or, pick something up or whatever. So if a worker isn't available, I'll just see, whatever aisle I'm in, if there's somebody else that can just, reach up for me, or, pick things up that are lower, things like that. So I'm
Oh,
usually able to get around it.
oh, okay. I also have a question about, prices on, some of the products, because now
Mhm.
they have these uh, code readers and different types of scanners that
Right.
read things to you and tell you prices. Do you use any of those?
Yeah, often I'll, check the prices. I know in, like, some of the stores, they have right in the aisle where you can check the price if it's not on there, or if I take it up to the line, that they'll, check the price, or things like that. Yeah, so I often, because, being on a budget and having to make sure that I'm, spending, within, the amount of food money I get, every month. I have to, make sure that I know what the prices are, and check them. So yeah, I'll often use those scanners in the store, or again, if I have trouble with that, I'll ask somebody in the store to check it for me.
Oh, okay. Because I know one of the things when I would go to the store, one of the things that would always get me was, how you have people with the samples in the store.
Yeah.
You want to try this? You want to try that? I started trying those, and oh yeah, that tastes good. I think I'll have some of that. And you end up spending more than you wanted to spend. You kind of go a little over your budget. So sometimes those are the kind of things that you have to keep in mind. You also said you do
Definitely.
some of your shopping online.
Hmm.
Can you tell us about that experience? For me, I have one of my family members, my sister, read the stuff to me,
Hmm.
and I tell her what I want, and we check prices and all of that when I do the online shopping.
Yeah, the online shopping can be a little tricky sometimes, especially when you're talking about groceries and stuff like that. Because if they don't have a certain thing that you're looking for, then, they might replace it with something that they do have, and it may not be, exactly what you wanted. So that can be kind of tricky. You have to be like, I find that you have to be really specific about what you want when you're having, somebody else kind of do the shopping for you, and otherwise you end up with stuff that you may not want. And then, like, if it's other items, you have to really pay attention to, like, return policies and things like that, if you needed to return things.
Yeah,
Um, so, it's just keeping an eye on detail a little bit more with the online shopping, and knowing, what it is exactly that you want, to make sure that the person that's doing the shopping, um, and picking out the things, knows exactly what you want. And if the store doesn't have it, what are the alternatives? If there's a mistake, what are the return policies, things like that. So making sure you know all of that before you go on there, because, I've had issues with, I'll buy something and not realizing that there's, not a return policy, or the days that you can return it have passed, and I didn't realize that ahead of time, and might be stuck with an item or something like that. But
yeah. I always double checked my list before I submit it.
mhm.
Have it read to me a second time, and I said, ordered this, and how many. And then I also let them know that I want no substitutes. So,
Yeah.
because sometimes they'll substitute something that might not be good for you or
Right.
something you might not like.
Right. Yeah. You have to pay attention to that, right? Because, like you said, they'll just sub it with whatever they can find. And if it's not something that you can have or something you don't like, then, you're kind of stuck with something that you can't eat or you can't use. Yeah.
Now, what advice would you have for the people out there in the community if they, you know, see us shopping or, come into contact with us in the store? Because a lot of times people might be hesitant or maybe afraid to approach us if they know that we need assistance.
Yeah, absolutely. I always say to people, don't be afraid to ask, but don't, be overbearing about, making sure you're asking, but also making sure that you're respecting the answer of the person that you're talking with. Because, it's great to be helpful and everything like that, but, everybody doesn't welcome your help. So it's really important to listen and to respect people and respect their space. I know in stores sometimes, people can be, really close to you, and some people don't like that. So just respecting, our space, respecting what we have to say, and if you can be helpful, if we ask, then be helpful. But also, if it's not something that you can do or you're willing to do, just be honest about that. Because a lot of times, people will take forever to answer a question, or they'll run away or whatever. Just be honest about, if you can be helpful or not. And if you can't, then just say that.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate you coming on and talking with us and sharing your experience and, just letting people know that, it's important that we do go out and shop and that, people can see us out there and interact with us. And hopefully in the future, we can have you back with some other ideas or topics. But thank you very much for being our guest today.
Thank you for having me. I look forward to more conversations in the future.
I am more than my developmental disability. I am a coworker, a college graduate, an artist, independent, a musician. I'm a person. Look beyond my developmental disability.
In the heart of every community, there are people who walk among us, fulfilling a calling that's more than work.
They are direct support professionals, people who transform lives through their dedication and support.
They are the champions who believe in empowering people to achieve their full potential.
For them, it's not just a job. It's about making a real difference.
Every smile they bring creates moments that matter.
It's more than work. It's a journey.
Join us in a career where your impact means you help someone grow and learn.
Where every day you're not just going to work.
You're becoming a part of someone's world.
Become a direct support professional
And build a career with meaning.
It's more than work
It's a legacy of support.
and enrichment.
Your calling is waiting.
Join us and change your world.
Apply now to be a direct support professional.
Today we have Michele Mckeever from Price Chopper and Market 32 as our guest. Hello, Michele.
Hi, Chester. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. Can you tell us a little bit about the services that you have to serve people with disabilities that come to your stores?
Absolutely. So we do a lot of different things. We do bagging, we help customers out to their cars with groceries. We do a lot of different things as far as pairing someone up if they need someone to help shop, if they are in a wheelchair, or if they are visually impaired and they need somebody to shop with them to be able to read labels and tags. We also do that. There's many different things depending on the store and the area and what the need may be.
That's good to know. I have shopped at Price Chopper when I lived on Delaware Avenue, and I had a good experience. One of the things that was important to me was that things were, accessible in the store, and that I would be able to, get assistance, when I needed it. What do you do for, other customers that come in that, have a disability or, some kind of, that they have needs and assist?
So our store design is usually, not usually, excuse me, our store design is set up to be able to be navigated through the store easily if someone has a wheelchair or if they're using one of our Mart carts. If there's something that's either too high or too low for someone to reach, the store team is very versed in customer service and helpfulness, and that's what we kind of strive ourselves on. And that there's always store teammates throughout the store to be able to help and assist anyone that needs something that's either too high or too low, depending on where the items are. That's one thing that we start from right from orientation, is that we talk about customer service, we talk about helpfulness and helping all of our customers in whatever their need may be when they come in to shop with us.
Oh, that's good to know. One of the things that is so important when I go into the store, sometimes I go, by myself, or, I have someone with me. But if I don't, uh, it's important to be able to have assistance. One of the things I wanted to ask you, Michelle, was what about your policies on having people shop online? Because I do go into the store, but once in a while I do, have groceries delivered online because of, winter time and the weather and things like that.
So on our website, you could go on and you could create a shopping list. You can look at our ad, whatever our current ad is, and be able to shop with Instacart is a service that we use. And there's two ways that you can shop with Instacart. One is that you could pick it up at the store. So one of our store teammates would do the shopping for you. You would create that list. Our store teammate would navigate the store, shop all the items for you. When you would come to the store to pick that up, there's a designated parking spot in the parking lots that are marked for Instacart pickup. You'll call the store. They will bring your order out and place it into the car for you, and then you're on your way. The second one, there's an option to choose, is for delivery. So that would be through Instacart. So some stores, our teammates would shop that order, and then some locations, the Instacart shopper will shop that, and then they would deliver it to your home. So there's several different options as far as grocery pickup or for delivery for customers.
That is good and interesting, and I definitely will take advantage of some of those services. One of the things that you mentioned was a cart. Uh, what is that? Is that some type of a device that you can use within the store for people
So
shopping?
yes, so we have a Mart cart, which is a motorized cart that if you're having trouble walking for a long period of time, or depending on what disability that you may have that you need assistance with, we have motorized carts that are available to be able to navigate the store and shop. We also have a Caroline cart, which is also another type of shopping cart that has a seat in the back side of the cart that can fit an adult into to sit to be able to shop. If someone is accompanying somebody that needs assistance, or if you have somebody that's shopping that may have an older child with a disability that needs to come in and shop, that we have those carts available also.
How about your websites? Because I know a lot of people, and as well as myself, rely on the accessibility of the websites where it either, reads it to you, or it, prompts you to different things on the website. Do you have any idea about that, or?
If anyone needs help with the website when they are trying to do like Instacart shopping, we also have a 1-800 number that they can contact with our customer care line that can also direct them to whatever their needs are. But I do want to stress to anyone that comes into the store just to please ask any of our store teammates, and we'll be more than happy to help anyone.
That's very helpful. And I think that you've answered a lot of questions that I have, and hopefully this will be helpful, to other people that are out there, with disabilities, and people without disabilities that, want to take advantage of your services. Do you have any final thoughts or that you would like to say?
Yes, thanks, Chester. One thing that I definitely want to say is don't be afraid. Don't be afraid when you come into stores to ask for help, whatever that may be. If it's just reading labels, or if you need help out to your car, or if you need someone to shop with you. I don't want anyone to think that they're a burden or they're going to be a hindrance to the store. That's what we're there for. We are a family and we're a community, and we want to make sure that anyone that comes into our stores, if they need any type of help, that we're there. And that's what we strive ourselves on, is being helpful in our customer service. And I just want everyone to know not to be afraid to ask for help, because we want to be able to help.
Well, that's been very helpful. And we appreciate you coming in and answering our questions and letting us know, about your stores in our community, and, letting us know about some of the things we might have not, known about before. And, hopefully at some point in the future, we can have you back to update us on some of the things that you're doing and some of the changes that you're doing at your store. And, we really appreciate this. And thank you so much.
For final thoughts on this episode of Accessing Life, we go to BJ's Corner. Self-advocate BJ Stasio uses his decades of experience making change for people with developmental disabilities to offer some perspective on today's discussion.
That was a very enlightening interview, and I want to tell everybody that no matter where we are in the community, it's our right to be an active participant in our communities, whether it be grocery shopping, whether it be at the mall. We can ask for the help, but we have to be respectful and understanding and use this as our opportunity to educate, not about our disabilities, but that we as people with disabilities belong in the communities in which we live, and we need to take active roles in being members of our communities and not be on the sidelines and wait for somebody else to do it. I always say be visible instead of being invisible. And if you don't know, respectfully ask a question, and once again, use it as an opportunity to educate. I look forward to doing more of these shows, and I look forward to what other topics we're going to talk about. Thank you very much.
Accessing Life is a podcast produced by the New York State Office for People with Developmental Disabilities, known as OPWDD. The producer is Michael Orzel, host Chester Finn, and commentator BJ Stasio. To learn more about the Office for People with Developmental Disabilities, supports and services, go to opwdd.ny.gov.